When Peepa started to mistrust her housekeeper Jackie, she put up a lot of cameras around the house without Jackie, or her husband Sem, knowing about it. And Jackie's plan worked perfectly, as what she captured on the footage immediately exposed Jackie's true intentions. Peepa could not believe she ever trusted this woman. Peepa was burning with rage after viewing the secret camera footage of Jackie. It confirmed her suspicions and worst fears. She wanted to confront the housekeeper before she left her house. She had not even told her husband Sem about what she was doing, and for a good reason. Luckily, she was just in time. Jackie was putting the finishing touches on the home when Peepa burst into the front door, scaring the living daylight out of her. Jackie had not expected Peepa home until tomorrow, and her boss wasted no time clarifying why she had come. When Peepa told Jackie about the hidden cameras, the housekeeper's face went ghostly white. But what had Jackie seen on the camera footage? Why had she been suspicious, and what had Jackie been up to behind her back? Before we start, smash the like button and make sure to subscribe if you haven't, and hit that notification bell so that you won't miss any new stories. Jackie was doing such a great job that Sem and Peepa even recommended her to their friends and neighbors. But Sem didn't hire her for her looks. He didn't understand why his friends were so excited about Jackie. For him, no one was as beautiful as his wife Peepa. He had met Peepa in high school and they fell instantly for each other. They dated for about 7 years and have been married for 7 years. They never actually had their honeymoon because they were both too busy with work. But now that they have Jackie, Sem thought it was time for them to get away for a week. So they asked Jackie to stay in their home to care for their plants and cat as long as they were out, and she was happy to do so. Their honeymoon is in 2 weeks and everything is taken care of. But Peepa has heard some strange stories about Jackie, and she is starting to get doubts about her. From the moment that Peepa and Sem had thought about hiring Jackie, they had gotten in contact with some strange rumors that had been circulating about the young woman. But nobody knew if any of these stories were actually true. He was very much against the idea of judging somebody on a series of which they had no idea if they were even true in the slightest. And in their first conversation, Jackie had made a great impression on both him and Peepa. Peepa was almost a bit caught off guard by Sem's steadfast attitude on this subject. Mostly, he didn't get involved at all in decisions on topics like this. Why did this matter so much to him? But that would all start to change very soon. Then Peepa suddenly hears the key turn in the lock of the front door. Jackie arrived in the afternoon. Peepa found this a little strange because they paid Jackie from 10 o'clock. So she decided to get out of the closet to get a better look at what Jackie was doing. She heard a lot of noise from the kitchen, but when she looked around the corner, Jackie was only cleaning out the dishwasher. Peepa told her she was leaving, and Jackie seemed relieved. She had to think of another plan to see what Jackie was up to when she was alone in the house. Sem and Peepa had always thought about security cameras, but they never went through with them. But now seemed the right time to get them installed anyway. She called a company, and they told her they could come the following weekend. The workers came and went right at it. They installed the cameras in the kitchen, living room, laundry room, bedroom, and guest rooms. Peepa had asked them to make the cameras as invisible as possible. Even her husband Sem didn't notice the cameras when he returned. On the day that Peepa and Sem were set to leave, Jackie came in early so they could walk through the house together. Peepa was nervous during this walk, as you might expect, but ended up relieved to see that Jackie also didn't notice the cameras. She went on her honeymoon with comfort, knowing that everything would be recorded. During the flight, Peepa noticed that she could think of nothing else than wanting to see the footage, but when they arrived at their apartment, it turned out that the camera app didn't work yet. Peepa felt powerless. When Sem and Peepa returned home, they were very surprised by what they found. Jackie had already gone home again, and the couple were shocked by what she left behind. The house still looked the same, but it was even cleaner than they left it behind, like Jackie had tried to cover something up. Peepa tried to look back at all the footage, but it didn't record anything because she had forgotten to connect the cameras to the app. Desperate to find somebody who had seen anything, Peepa turned to her neighbors. When she was going door to door by All Day House, finding out absolutely nothing at first, Peepa was suddenly called over by one of her closet neighbors. Her neighbor had told Peepa that he had heard strange sounds from their home in the past week, and that there had been different cars in the driveway. This worried Peepa, and she went straight to her husband. Together they came up with a different plan. This time they would go to a nearby hotel, and so it happened. Sem and Pipa left the following weekend for their romantic night away, but there was nothing romantic about it at all. Hell, Sem spent the evening with his friend while Pipa got a cheap hotel room and started stalking the cameras to see what Jackie was up to. Pipa kept looking at her iPad, following Jackie's every move around the house. This time she will catch her. Hours passed, and Pipa didn't look away from her iPad once. Her eyes started to burn and her tummy was rumbling. She checked the time and was shocked that it was already 8 o'clock. She had been looking at the camera footage since noon. Against her own will, she decided to look away and order food. It was only a few minutes, but Pipa felt like she had missed hours of Jackie's moves. She wasn't on the couch anymore where she had been when Pipa closed the app. Pipa searched for Jackie through all the camera screens, but she was nowhere to be found. How is this possible? As Pipa was still staring at the closed door, she noticed something in the corner of her eye. There was movement in her house again. Jackie had returned home and something had changed about her. She held weird objects in her hand and paced nervously around the house. Jackie then went into the bathroom. Pipa didn't have cameras in there, so she couldn't see what Jackie was doing, but she kept track of the time. Jackie came out of the bathroom 15 minutes later. This started Pipa's spiral. What could she possibly be doing in the bathroom for so long? Was it finally time to go home and confront Jackie about what she had seen? She ran to her car and drove home with incredible speed. While in the car, she called her husband Sem. She begged him to come to the house as soon as he could. Luckily, Pipa was just in time. Jackie was finishing the home when Pipa burst into the front door, scaring the living daylight out of her. Jackie had not expected Pipa home until tomorrow, and her boss demanded an explanation immediately. But Jackie was so shocked she couldn't speak. After a few minutes, it started to sink in with Jackie. She had been caught red-handed. Sem arrived minutes later. He had rushed home because of Jackie's call. She took her iPad out of her bag and showed Sem the footage. Jackie had no idea what was happening or what Pipa showed her husband, but it couldn't be good. Because Sem turned back to Jackie with an angry look on his face. "How could you?" he yelled at her. She still tried to explain, but Pipa and Sem knew everything was a lie. They showed Jackie the footage, and she turned as white as a ghost. Everything had been captured on camera. There was no way out of this. Jackie felt defeated and decided to tell them the truth. She had staged a break-in and filled her car with all kinds of valuable items. She planned to sell everything for a lot of money to go to college. Her anger faded, and she started to feel sorry for Jackie. Here they were, living in a big house with all these nice things they never even use. She hugged Jackie and told her stealing was never an option, but they weren't going to the police. Instead, they did something unexpected. Pipa and Sem decided to sponsor Jackie so she could go to college. Jackie was very grateful for their kindness, and she stayed their housekeeper for a little bit until she got too busy with school. She later graduated and paid everything back to Pipa and Sem.